All right. What is up, friends and family? Gary, the Card Father here. I'm live, so if you go back and see this video later, it's probably because you were not in here live and you're just watching it later. So that's cool. Whatever. It's been a little bit of time since I've done a little bit of video magic, and figured I'd jump back into the fray a little bit here while I'm doing some work. And so, partly what I'm doing here in the work way is I'm preparing for a card show on Saturday, and it's not a very it's supposed to be a larger card show than what I'm normally used to, but it's definitely not like one of them. It's not like a small one, and I've been to several so far, and I've done fairly well at each one, so it's been pretty good. Lord's blessed me with the ability to be there and do the card show and talk with people and engage with people and just kind of get my name out there and everything like that. But I did want to like chat tonight a little bit here while I'm doing some things. I got these in. Let me show you these, like, just how cool they are. So these are keychains, and they got a little strap, and they got a little clasp. They're pretty dope looking. I got all kinds of them. They're, I mean, all over the gambit. This was one of my favorites, the Umbreon. Such a cool little keychain. So I've got these for sale for the card show. Decided to find a distributor who makes these and get those through. I think my favorite though has got to be the Gengar. Like, this is such a good quality keychain. Like, I'm very excited about these. See how well that they do at the card shows. I've got several lined up. Card shows are all over the gambit here. I got several lined up the next several weeks, so it'll be a good summer to expand the name and expand the presence and kind of get myself out there, right? So pretty cool. So yeah, but I just decided I'd jump into a quick live video here, and oh, you can't see this, but there's a bin of them. I got a whole bin of these bad boys. And then I just got this today. Thought it would be kind of cool to test it out, see how it would hold these. So, but a couple of things that I outside of the business scope, kind of just an update on what's going on with the business and where I'm at right now. Outside of card shows, I've been focusing on my goals. So my goals are really, they're five. I think they're five deep. It's funny. You're like, oh, you should know your goals. Oh, you're right. I should. No, they're six deep. Sorry, I got them written down over here. They're on a piece of paper hanging off my monitor. It's a constant reminder for me. But so my six goals are pretty important to me. They're what are keeping me level right now within the business. Right. This is not an easy. This is not an easy thing to do. Being a live atmosphere, it's not easy to run a business. It's not easy to be stuck sometimes, wondering, hey, what's the market going to do? It's not easy to be stuck wondering how you're going to be successful, how you're going to build credibility. It's not easy to sit here and debate yourself for hours on end about whether you should hit that buy now button because you have inventory you need to buy, or whatever. But it's one of those things where I'm trying to learn and trying to keep motivated, right, within the scope of everything that I can control. And that's one of the things that I've been trying to learn more than anything, is like control what I can control, and don't over leverage, and don't put myself into a situation. So the first business goal that I have adopted, and I'm starting to work even more so on, is pretty straightforward. It's not a terribly difficult goal, but it's build credibility. I want to build credibility. So if you're watching this right now, I think that's the biggest thing coming out of COVID, going into a business, and what everybody's been doing is that nobody built credibility. Like, you had these scalpers go out and they bought all this product, and so nobody knows anybody. Nobody knows anybody at all. And so if you don't know who you are, or if anybody doesn't know who you are per se, then it's really, really difficult to gain any kind of foothold in the business, right? In a business sense. So that's my that's my first goal. My first goal is build credibility, continuously build credibility, so that way people trust me and who I am. And one of those ways of doing that is strictly jumping on here on YouTube, right? One of those ways is to continuously. I'm going to adjust this for a second. There you go. Is to continuously make content. Brian over at Pokey&E, he's like, one of the things you got to do is you got to build content. You got to make content, make content, make content. When people see your face, they know who you are. When people can hear your voice, they know who you are. And then when they buy from you, you can then begin to build that process. And if you watch any of Pat Flynn's stuff with simple passive income, he talks about taking your casual people, those people who are just really casual in your sphere, and then taking them from casual to active audiences. And so, but that only happens when you build credibility, right? So that's the thing that I'm trying to do, is build credibility, much like these. I mean, these are kind of cool. I love this Jolteon. It's a really cool one. So that's the first thing I'm trying to do. That's my first business goal. Build credibility. Build a name. Build a following. Build people who look at me and they come and buy my products and they know that, Gary has got what I want or what I need, but also Gary will do it right, and Gary's not going to leave me on the wayside. It's building credibility. So that's one of the biggest things I'm trying to do right now. And I keep looking over here because I'm trying to make sure everything's copacetic with the other things I'm doing. But so the next one, my second goal, and by the way, there's no hierarchy in my goals here. But the second one is make more content. That in itself, that is a challenge beyond all get out, is to make more content. I have a full-time job as a live streaming community manager for an organization that handles live streaming for churches, as a video platform for churches. So this is the Glaceon. That's kind of cool. Love this Glaceon. It's a really cool little keychain. But that's the thing. I have a full-time job. I've got a full-time family. I've got responsibilities, like mowing the grass, which, everybody could say is good or bad. I find it therapeutic sometimes, and other days not so much. But building more content, that's hard. Like, content creation is not easy. Coming up with ideas, and so here's the thing, for me, content creation doesn't revolve around regurgitation. It's regurgitating the same things that everybody else regurgitates is a trend. Like, oh, well, follow the trends. I can't do that. For me, it's like, if somebody else is doing it, that's fine, and their content's just as good as mine, and there's no reason for me to do that. So now I'm looking for ways that I can do unique content. Again, back to Pat Flynn, he talks about doing what's known as content that people engage with, and that's usually storytelling. That's usually defining what you're doing and where you're going, and how you're doing that, how you're getting there, and telling a story in that process. So that's another thing that I've been working on, is what do I develop as an awesome story, like the content that I want to do for a story. That's something I've been trying to work on a little bit more, and I got some really cool ideas for that as I go into the middle of this year, moving out of this year and into other areas of the year. That's what I plan on doing. So, but little side note, those are cool, aren't they? Look at that, little tags I made. These are dope. I'm excited about these. So that's my second one, is make more content. And the easiest thing about making content, I think the only easiest thing about making content is not the ideas, not just filming, but the ease of things that we have available now to do those things. Like right now, this is my cell phone. It's literally just sitting on my desk on a holder, and it's sitting in my basement, which you can tell because that's all my HVAC work in the background. And that's all my card inventory for TCG Player. But the thing is like, the easeability that we have now with all of these tools and all of this stuff we have is really, really nice. It's really simple to be able to do content. But the problem is making the content, right? If you don't have editing skills, or maybe you just don't know what to do with a storyline, that's the thing I'm trying to do. So that's my second business goal. That's the second thing I'm trying to do, is make more content. So a little transparency here. This is tedious work, and I'm not too fond of it. because I have a lot of these things, and so I'm taking each one and I'm adding a tag to it, because in my business, I do utilize technology. I use UPCs, not the ultra premium collections. Use UPC barcodes to scan things through for my customers when they're at card shows, because it's a lot faster than me typing things in. So that's one thing I'm doing here. So this is really tedious. Like, it's like really, really tedious. But I think they looked good. So the one thing I've been learning lately, like in this whole nah, don't want to do that. But the one thing I've been learning lately about this job, like about this business, is simply managing the thought process of not being a yard sale, right? Retail, not yard sale. That's the one thing that I look forward to. Quinn, what's up? I'm doing great, man. I'm having a great day today. Doing some work here in my card business. Doing some work for a card show this weekend. So if you're just joining me, welcome in. I just went live so I could have the content here, because and then talking about my business a little bit, but talking about some of the stressors and things that go on during the day. So I appreciate it. I hope your day is well. Comment below. Tell me how your day's going too. It's a beautiful day here in Columbus, Ohio. It's hot, but it's a beautiful day. So, but yeah. So back to it. I feel like the aspects of what I'm learning is like not yard sale, because everybody wants something at a yard sale, right? They want the price of a yard sale, and I'm okay with that. That's good to hear, Gwen. That's awesome, dude. Everybody wants the price of a yard sale, especially when you go to a card show. You're looking for a deal, right? What a lot of people don't realize about card shows is that those dealers are not making deals. Like, you're more than likely going to get a deal towards the end of a card show, as long as it's like at the end of the weekend, where mine is just one-day events, so you're not really going to always get a deal. But if you haggle and you talk with the person and you're personable, that's it. But see, that's the thing for me within the yard sale function. The look is the kicker. So I'm more than happy to make deals on things, absolutely. But I don't want to look yard sale. I don't want to look like I'm at a yard sale. I don't want to look like I'm participating in a yard sale either. So it's retail, not yard sale. So that's why I take the time. I literally take the time to add tags. Like, I make these tags. I print them out on a thermal printer. I make the tags. I put them together on the products that I'm working on, even on cards. Like, every card I have that I sell at a card show has a barcode associated with it. So that way I keep track of my inventory, but B, also I have everything looks great. Like, everything's tagged up. Like, for example, I'll even show you these. Hold on. So these are, oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so these are, I don't like to sell sports cards because I'm just terrible at it. I don't know what I'm looking at. But these are sports cards. Like, they're just a $5 pack of 50 cards inside, and it could be anything. I don't know anything about sports. I literally bought a collection, just threw them in a bag, right? And like, so this is Thomas Davis Sr., Man of the Year from the Carolina Panthers. I have no clue who Thomas Davis Sr. is from the Panthers. Don't know. There could be a $3 card in here, could be a $50 card in here. I have no clue. But the thing is that this does not look like yard sale. There's a tag on the back, which gives it the ability for me to scan it. It's not yard sale. Same thing here with One Piece. Now, One Piece is a little bit different. I have packaging on the way, but these are One Piece mystery packs. I have close to 60 of them. The cool thing about those is that, like, there's a 1 in 6 chance for an alt art in one of these packs. So you know, for every 6 packs, there's a 1 in 6 chance you're going to get an alt art from One Piece. But they don't look yard sale. They look retail. Now, they do look like, not bougie, but they do look like home retail, right? Like the home retail side, but they're not yard sale. Like, I'm not just putting them in a bin. I'm not putting them in plastic, like, sandwich bags. I'm not putting them in plastic sandwich bags. You know, they're here. They're in a nice cellophane bag with a Mylar back. They look good. There's a printout. There's a tag. Lorcana bags do the same thing. Again, I got packaging for all of this on its way. So, but that's the important thing, right? Like, I don't want to look like a yard sale. I participate in them, but I don't want to look like one. All right. Anyway, back to the actual business stuff. So what is my third goal? Well, that's a good question, and you're probably going to be surprised by it. My third goal is to get out of business debt. You're probably going to think and say to yourself, what is business debt? And I'm going to look at you or look at the camera and tell you that is where you make a mistake or two and you over leverage yourself on either product or on credit or on cash, and you ended up doing something that you probably didn't want to do because you needed inventory or you needed something, whether that be like, you know, doing credit card debt or something of that nature. Now, I'll tell you what, but you know, a lot of people say credit card debt is some credit card debt can be leveraged correctly, and they're not wrong. If you do leverage it correctly, you get a nice little return on your use for your business, if you're smart. But and they say, hey, the credit card's like a 30-day loan, and that's true. It is a 30-day loan. It's actually like a 28-day loan, technically, if you want to go that far. But the thing about credit card debt within a business is that it's crippling. Credit card debt in your business is a crippling thing. And I know that because I have a distributor who I'm trying to build nice relationships with. And when they come telling me, hey, we got this thing we want you to get, you know, it's a good deal. And you look at it and it's not too bad of a deal. And you're like, yeah, I should get that. It's an opportunity. They say, hey, we'll throw this one thing in on top of it. You're like, okay, what's the total cost? Where are we at with this now? And they look at you and they say, well, you know, your total cost is $2,000. Now, for an online LGS like myself, that's not good. That's not good. $2,000 is a stretch. $2,000 is more than a stretch. $2,000 is like almost an inconvenience, because I have to sell that. And if you add 10% to that $2,000, that's $200. If you add 20%, that's $400. The crazy thing about this is that that's $400 extra profit that I have to make in order to pay the debt back. And what I've come to discover, I'm no dummy when it comes to business and credit cards, and I'm no dummy when it comes to finances, is that that's a lot harder with the Pokemon and trading card world. Sealed product is on the rise. Sealed product is increasing. Single cards are increasing. Lots of good cards out there, singles. But sealed product is increasing, especially in Scarlet and Violet. But the thing that most people aren't seeing is that it's a slow creeping climb. And yet margins on sealed are extremely challenging to get. They really are. Talk to anybody. If you're not a brick and mortar where people come into your store and you're able to sell something, 10, 15, 20% above above what everybody else is selling it for, you're in trouble, especially as an online LGS. You're in massive trouble. Look at the Sylveon, pretty cute, eh? You're in massive trouble. The challenge with that is because as an online LGS, again, it goes back to my first goal of building credibility. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody knows, whether or not you're legitimate or, you're trustworthy. And sometimes it's even worse than that. They just don't know who you are. Like, do you have a business and it exists? I can't tell you how many times I've looked at somebody and then they're all like, what's that? What are you doing? That's an LGS? What is an LGS? What is an online store? What do you do? And it's like, hey, I own my own business in trading cards. And so the crazy thing about that is business debt will cripple your business. I talked to Rudy from Alpha Investments and had a conversation with him, and I asked him that specific question, like, business debt, man, like, how do I get more sales? How do I generate better? Like, the market's tanking in some areas, the market's healing in others, market is just a challenge, and I laid it all out. What up, Jim? And I laid it all out. I laid it out there and I just told him what was going on, and Rudy's like, dude, you got to get out of the debt. You got to get out of the business debt. And he's like, the business debt is what's killing you. And the thing is, like, business debt will kill you. Debt and anything will kill you. It eats all your margins. It eats all your profits, and you can't operate. And luckily, I don't have a lot of overhead. Oh man, go back to work, bro. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Appreciate you stopping in. But I get that. Go that work thing, bro. I know. I'm doing it right now, man. That business debt, it will drain you. It will drain you. It's a massive challenge. Anxiety, um, constant worry, constant stress, uh, constant longing. It's draining. Like wanting to be able to do more, wanting to sell more, and always worrying about whether or not you're going to get that extra sale, or if you pay something off, or you get to a point where you're doing it. It can be compounding. It's a compounding effect. So that's my third goal, is get out of business debt. Now, luckily, I'm not far into business debt, and I'll be transparent. I'm about $5,000 in business debt, and that is leveraged on inventory, and it's not leveraged on pizza and Mountain Dew. It's not leveraged on tacos and waffle fries. It's it's leveraged in inventory. I've bought an inventory and I haven't sold it all. I've bought no, I've bought inventory. I've purchased inventory, and I've sold it, but not for its full value, right? And that's my fault. That's my stupidity. So I'm working on that right now. I'm actually halfway through that business debt, so that's a good thing. Working hard to get out of that business debt, working hard to get out of it. That's my second goal. And as soon as I get out of business debt and I have liquidity, I can do that. Now you have to remember, when you have products, okay, so it could be anything as simple as a Jolteon keychain, okay, that I buy in for 75 cents and I can sell at $3, right? It could be this. It could be a pack of Pokemon cards. It could be an ETB. It could be a booster box. The idea here, right, is to sell it to make the profit to pay the things off. It's just making sure that you're doing it correctly. And that's the thing. So with that, that leads me to my fourth business goal, which is pretty easy to understand because I'm trying to do it right now. And it's reach 500 subs. Now, just 2 months ago, I reached 250, which was fan-freaking-tastic that I hit 250, and I celebrated and gave some stuff away and had a nice cool stream. But my fourth business goal is to reach 500. Now, that is a business goal that I call a ever growing or a live goal. That goal will never stop. That goal will always be constant. It will always stay. It will never change except for the quantity of numbers in that. Now, at some point, subscribers counts are going to be nice and all, and I may be, at 1,000 or more. I could be at 550,000. Who knows? I don't know. But the cool thing about this is, where's that other Umbreon? There he is. Umbreon, see? Just pretty cool. Thing about that is like that's a living goal. That goal is going to live a long time. It's going to stay as a goal. It's probably not one that I'll ever see succeed, but what I'll see is the milestones. I'll see the milestones of it, and I'll be able to go back and remember a year ago I was at 250, and now I'm at 250,000. Right? Doubt that'll happen, but in a year. But that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Could always dream. That's a living goal. That goal is going to live on and on and on and on and on, and it's going to stay consistent, and it'll keep changing just little by little, so the number increases, and maybe it'll be, hey, I want to get 1 million YouTube short views, right? Or that'll be like the sub goal of it. But that's the idea here, is to continuously keep growing on YouTube. I see YouTube as being the number one platform for credibility building, for my name to be out there outside of like Instagram or anything else. TikTok I don't think is worth my time. Now, it's not that I don't post on TikTok. I don't even look at TikTok. I have the app but never watch it. So whenever I post, usually I also send to TikTok as a reel or a short or a TikTok video. But YouTube is where it's at. YouTube Content creation on YouTube is a little more challenging, only because there's so much to do. I can't just take a photo and post it, which would be kind of dope. Maybe I could, but I don't think I would. But I would just continuously growing on YouTube is the point here, is the goal, right? And build my subscriber base, because with that is an audience, and once my audience knows who I am and what I'm about and that I'm trustworthy, then I'll start seeing that in dividend, and then I can start building a bigger community through that. And we can end up being like the Pat Flynn's, Deep Pocket Monsters, or the Pokey Rebs, or the Real Breaking Nates of the Pokemon community, or Leon Hearts of the Pokemon community at some point. Now, so that's a sub thing for me, is just getting more subs, but in time that'll grow as I do more content and as credibility builds for my business. So pretty cool. Look at that. Remember, retail, not yard sale. Okay, last one of the Umbreon, and then I got another 95 of these more to go. Yeah, so that was my fourth goal, more subs on YouTube. I'm currently waiting to get to 500, which would be awesome. And when I do, I'll have a live stream, another live stream giveaway, and I'll celebrate, and then we'll move on from there. So it'll be kind of cool. Oh, there we go. So tedious. Yeah, look at that, pretty cool. All right, this is turning out looking really good. Yeah, I like this thing so far. People can, well, if I had it out here, maybe. It leans a little bit, but I think that's all the weight. Once I get it all equally distributed, it should be good. I'll have to figure that out. I might have to tape the bottom a little bit down here to put more tape or something down there so it doesn't actually move, or so it stands up tall. This is what I get for getting it off of Temu for like $5, right? Temu for the win. Yeah, all right, so my fifth business goal. Oh, hey, they all just fell over. My fifth business goal is, quite frankly, I think it's more of a personal goal. So like the first 4 goals are business related, but the fifth and sixth goal that I have out of the 6 that I put on my board is stay the course. Yep, that's right. Stay the course. Stay the stinking course. And that's only done because I only put that as a goal because I have a game plan. I have a plan. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a plan. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to achieve. I'm no dummy, and I think I can do it, and I know I can do it. But I have to stay the course. I have a game plan, and that game plan is really simple. It's the first 4 of my business goal. That's it. Build credibility, right? Continuously build credibility. Make more content. Continuously keep going. Get out of business debt, and of course, hit 500 subscribers, and then eventually 750, and eventually 1,000, and then 2,000, so forth and so on. But it's stay the course. I've had to pull back quite a bit in my business. So when I first started this back in August 1st of 2023 was when my business actually took off, when the concept was there, decided to make it through. When I started my business, when I first started, the idea for me was be anywhere and everywhere. Get my name out there. Go everywhere. Be everywhere. And I was everywhere. I mean, I applied for every Tom, Dick, and Harry marketplace I could find. Mercari, eBay, Walmart, TikTok Shop, Amazon. I mean, I was even looking into like AliExpress and Etsy and all these places. And I was literally trying to just be everywhere. And so recently, within the last 2 months, I have considerably pulled back on the sales channels. That's what that's called in the business world. So they're called sales channels. I've pulled back on the sales channels. So before, I was doing Walmart, eBay, TikTok Shop, Amazon. Amazon was a bust, always has been. For people like me, if you're not using FBA and don't have resources to jump into FBA, it's really difficult. I was everywhere. Mercari, the eBays, all of the unknowns, the little knowns. I was on sportscardcollector.com, which is a website for sports cards where you can list sports cards. Which I don't even know if anybody visits because I never saw a single order come through from there. So I was everywhere all at once, and I bought a Shopify account. I built the Shopify account, by the way, shameless plug, cardfathertcg.com. Yep, cardfathertcg.com. Anyway, went there, started doing all that jazz, continuously forcing myself into doing the business route, continuously being in all the places I could be, and that got very tiresome very quickly. It became very much of a challenge, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't sustain. I've talked to my Amazon reps. I've talked to my Walmart reps. I have, I've got all the clearances. Like, if you're not familiar with Amazon and how they work, or with Walmart, they actually gate you. So if you can't prove that you either have an official distributor or you're able to supply product from an official source, they do not allow you to sell that item. Now, there's generic items, but you're not allowed to use any of the keywords. You're not allowed to use any of the, like if I wanted to sell Pokemon keychains, I couldn't do that. I could list it as Pocket Monster keychain. I could list it as Pokemon, right? Because that's a completely subverted word from Pokemon. But I couldn't list these because I'm gated at that time. And so in order to not be gated, you have to have an official distribution channel, or you have to have proof, which is like an invoice of you buying something. Now, there are ways to skirt that. I wouldn't say, okay, let me just put back. That's not skirting. There's ways around it, right? There's ways to get through that, like buying your stuff from an official site like Poke Center, buying 10 of something from Poke Center, the Pokemon Center, and getting your credibility that way of saying, yeah, I bought this from Pokemon Center, blah 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 blah. But that was the thing. Like I had official distributors when I dived into this. Like I actually got a distributor. Lord granted me that, which is another cool blessing. But I got into that, and I was able to like prove to Amazon, hey, yeah, I can buy this product and it's legitimate, and I have authorization to sell it. And the same thing happened with my website too. Shopify come knocking, asking that question as well. But having those distribution channels, was hard. Having those channels was incredibly difficult. I'm gonna take this off for just a second. I want to see if I can't fix this real quick. It was, wow, that's a lot of weight on there. Those are heavy. There's a lot of problems with being in too many places at once. You can't manage it. You can't do it. So I was having some problems at the beginning of my business. Actually, it was all the way up until about February, March of this year, where I wasn't like, Christmas was great. Black Friday was awesome, but I didn't see the numbers that I wanted to see, and I was slowed down to almost nothing. Like I think there was a solid month where I didn't sell anything, including on TCG Player. And I got really depressed. I got really upset. I got really mad. I was highly frustrated because I see the success of like all these other people, or I should say it this way. It wasn't necessarily success. I saw perceived success. I saw what I wanted to see, not necessarily what really was. So I'm looking at all these stores who, I know have brick and mortars, or they are a store like Poke&E, for example. Brian over at Poke&E, I was looking at his store, and I'm like, the dude's killing it. Like, I mean, he's got cash. He boasts all the time about how much money he makes, and then he also tries to help people. And I was like, man, I really want that. Like, I really want to do that. And I got depressed right around March, April, before a card show at the end of March. I was really upset. I was not happy. I was about ready to throw in the towel. I made a video about it. You should check out my channel with the video. It's like, this is the video I didn't want to make because I was literally about ready to throw in the towel. And then Poke&E stepped in, and he said, dude, you'd be an idiot if you decided to quit now. He's like, you can do this. And he's like, you just got to stay the course. He's like, there's progress to be made here. He's like, you got an outlet, you've got distributors. He's like, you can do it. And he encouraged me, and I am grateful for his encouragement. Wow, that's a lot more sturdier now. I'm thankful for his encouragement. Some dude on the internets who doesn't even know some other dude on the internets steps in and makes that encouragement, especially because I am competition to him. I am competition. You hear that, Brian? If you're watching this or you jump into this, I am your competition, but I'm not good at it, so you don't have anything to fear. Much better. But that was the beginning of my journey. So I've pulled back in the last several months. I've pulled back quite a bit. So I'm staying the course now. Like I'm not much nicer. Look at that. Here, I'll let you see. Looks much cleaner. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. Much nicer. Okay. Pretty dope the way this looks. I'm pretty excited about this. I hope this works out well. I hope people like this when they get to the card show tomorrow or Saturday. So now I'm staying the course. The course is I don't sell on Amazon anymore. I don't sell on Walmart anymore, even though I should, and I probably will at some point because that was not too bad. I didn't do too bad there. I just couldn't keep up with inventory, and what I sold, they took more in fees than what I was really comfortable with. I don't sell on Mercari, and shocker, I don't sell on eBay anymore. Just it's not worth it. It's oversaturated and it doesn't work. You really have to be really established to sell on eBay. So where do I sell? Well, obviously I have my website because I tell you cardfathertcg.com. That's my website. I sell through the TikTok shop on my website, which is LinkedIn. So I mean that's kind of easy because there's almost no management there. It's all just whatever I put on my website goes to TikTok shop. I sell on TCG Player. Now, yes, there are fees in TCG Player, but there's also ways to help mitigate those things. But I do sell there primarily. So my website, TCG Player, and I've picked up a butt ton of card shows. Yes, card shows. Summer is a great time for card shows of all sorts, whether it be sports, Pokemon, whatever. So I've stayed the course here. This has been 2 months, and I've seen some tremendous growth. I've cut my business debt down in half. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to grow. I'd like to be out of business debt by September, which I think is doable, as long as I remain liquid and I don't over leverage debt heavily, and I'm able just to pay it all off and keep going. I'm taking margins. If I do anything, Rudy would probably hate me right now. He'd probably tell me don't worry about margins until I'm out of the business debt. But marginally, like what I'm doing in margins, I'm at about 15%. 15%, which isn't bad. I can tell you that when I buy a card collection, I pay close to 75%, depending on the card, and then or depending on the whole thing, the whole unit, I pay about 75%. I do pay less sometimes. Like I do 60 or 50%, but it just depends on the card. So for like example, if it's a V Max, E, X, whatever, I usually, some of those cards are only worth like 20 cents, 25 cents. So I'm always paying 50% less on those. But I digress. So within that, I do sell in TCG Player. There's ways around it. There's things that you can do to, quantity is more important on there. So, the seller experience is good. The buyer experience is really good too. But selling correctly on TCG Player requires a lot of research. Just a lot of research. So, but the last business goal, and I digress because I need to get over this video is going to be a little long, and but the last business goal, again, first 4 are actual business goals. The 5th goal that I have is not a business goal. That's stay the course. And the 6th business goal that I have for Cardfather TCG is a major personal goal. And that is grind. Don't quit. I can do this. And that's big, bold, black letters on that sheet that I have sitting over there on my desk. Grind. Don't quit. I could do this. That is a motivational statement for me. I am naturally a pessimistic human. I am naturally filled with anxieties about things like my business, my family, my country, my friends, my church, right? Naturally, I'm predisposed to having those anxieties about these places and these things. So part of me immediately jumps to the fact that this is not going to work and it's not worth it and there's nothing I can do about it. I shouldn't even attempt this. Like I immediately want to go to the quit side because of how I'm feeling, and if I don't see progress, I get upset. But that last business goal for me is probably the most important business goal. It is the most important because it's grind. every day. Don't quit. I can do this. I can do this. I can. I can succeed. It's not about being smart. It's not about having enough smarts. It's not about being lucky, because I don't believe in business luck. It's not about being like well connected, even though that does help. It's about grit. It's about long term. It's about challenging myself to the fact that if this is something I really want, then I have to work extremely hard at it. And nothing worth doing in this life is worth doing half-assed. Nothing. So my last business goal is more personal goal, but I think it's the biggest goal that I could ever keep on my repertoire, and that is grind every day. Don't quit. I can do this. I can do this. I say that to myself every day. Just yesterday, I was like looking at my TCG Player account and looking at my payouts, and I was excited because it's like everything's going up. And then that moment of like, I don't know if it's called clarity or maybe it's just anxiety, but it kicks in. It's like, yeah, but it's not going to be like this forever. And then I have to step back and I have to realize and recognize to myself that, yes, I know that, but don't quit. Grind every single day. Don't quit. So you've got the inside look for the past 40 minutes of my business and what I'm doing to grow and what I'm doing to keep it moving and keep it shaking. You also got to see the newest product lineup of Pokemon keychains, which these are so cool looking, man. Look at these things. They're dope. I love them. Love them. You definitely have to balance it out. There's a lot of weight on this thing. But looks pretty cool. Definitely worth it. I mean, $4 for an Umbreon keychain, and it's like super high quality. It's pretty good. And don't mind all the mess back there. That's all packing and inventory stuff that I've been working on. So there you go. There you have it. That's me in a nutshell, talking about my business. I'm open to questions if you're live in here. If you're not, this is cool. I'm using the video just for content because the more content you put on YouTube, the better it is. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I am working hard, trying to. Got a card show this weekend. Very excited. Got awesome, dope keychains for sale. Now, check out the website. They're on there as well. cardfathertcg.com. These are Pikachu. Like the Pikachus. They come with this really cool Pikachu side keychain. It's pretty dope. Although I still like this one way better. I love this Gengar, dude. This Gengar is dope. So, but anyway, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Please check out the video in time and check out my other stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. Chat me down in the box in the comments below. And of course, as always, you can always do all things through Christ who gives you strength. It's good seeing you. Thanks for coming by. I hope you have a great rest of your day.